Plug Podcast have partnered with Dubby in an effort to grow together. The Plug Podcast has made the decision to get a sponsor. Our reason for this, no flawed ingredients. It's not 2018 anymore, and energy drinks need to evolve. Dubby achieves its smooth, effective focus with a high-end tasting experience while using no sugar, no fillers, and no artificial color or dyes. It's called Being Better. Focus and win more. Our coffee fruit cherry extract is the star of the show. This ingredient is what makes Dubby unique and helps to provide smooth and effective focus and energy, making it perfect for anyone who needs to conquer a task. Best-in-class taste, smooth focus and energy isn't enough. Dubby flavors are created with one goal in mind, to taste unlike any other beverage. We combine bold and unique flavor combinations to craft an experience for your tongue with each and every sip. Use promo code ThePlugPodcast for 10% off your purchase.
Dubby Dubby.
You're listening to The Plug Podcast, music and more with Bushy and Metal Mike.
All right, you are at The Plug Podcast, music and more with Bushy and Metal Mike. We have a special guest. Everybody should know this cat, but Metal Mike, who do we have?
We have our very own Marc Alden Taylor from the Freeform Rock Podcast, the BS Sessions, and God knows what else. Plus, he is doing a show every Tuesday, I do believe, right, Mark?
Yeah, Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern.
Yep. And it's like a 4-hour show, Freeform Rock show. Check it out. He does a great job for the most part. I don't care for everything he plays, but he still does a great job playing it and talking about it and defending his picks. So
I don't play Tiffany.
No, you don't, Mark. No. And overall, dude, like I didn't get to listen to you last night. Just had way too much shit going on. I wanted to, but the one show, your first show that when we had you come to Cranium, for the most part, I loved it, man. You killed it. So I'm glad you're here. Glad you're doing what you're doing, and keep doing what you're doing, dude. But anyway, we have Mark here because he said he called dibs on this shit months ago.
Yes,
when you guys talk about the new Superman, I want to be on that Nerdgasm episode. And here he is, man. Glad to have you, dude. And yeah, man. So let's talk about Superman, the first original superhero.
Let's talk about it. As everybody knows, I've been very apprehensive about this movie. There's a lot of things in the trailer that I was like, oh, jeez. And I don't know that it got much better when I saw it. I want to address some things before we get into that, though. And by the way, people, there's going to be spoilers. So if you don't want to know about the movie because you haven't seen it yet, go ahead and turn this off. Come back after you've seen it. This whole, the movie is woke. I've watched it twice. I cannot find woke in it. I find a lot of stupid, but I cannot find woke in it. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Because Mark, I know you were talking earlier, about Dean Cain. I think your line of thinking was taken kind of out of context because he was making a statement based on something that James Gunn said. But what do you think?
Well, that's what I was mad at him about. He's taking it because James Gunn called him an immigrant. That's all he said. He didn't.
Which he's not. He's an alien.
He's an alien. Well, whatever. He's human. Like in the movie, it talks about. We'll get to that later. But I'm just saying, I just hate it when people judge something by somebody's statement, which he hasn't fucking seen the movie, and he's already thinking it's woke. Even though he says, I hope it's good, I still haven't seen it. But why make a statement before you've seen it? Because you're a fucking B-class fucking Superman. Your fucking show sucked. I love Superman. That's the only fucking show I didn't fucking watch. Because it was fucking horrible. The only time I tuned in is to see the fucking Lois. He fucking sucks. What has he done since then? Nothing. He's a B fucking Superman. Nobody remembers him as Superman because he fucking sucked. They know the woman And I don't like people making opinions before they have the facts. He should have watched it before he opened his fucking stupid mouth. That's all I gotta say.
You know what? I kind of got to go with Mark on this. I don't hate Dean Cain. That show was, it was okay. I wasn't a huge
90s,
fan.
for God's sake.
Huh?
It was the 90s, for God's sake.
It was romantic Superman.
The Adventures of Superman was in the 50s. What's your point, Bush?
And that's not great either, even though it holds a special place in my heart.
I love that.
I'm just saying, for the time.
But it was for the time.
For the time, it was a good show. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
No, I didn't hate Lois and Clark, dude. I'm not saying I did.
I understand what Dean was saying based on that statement, because he brings up Snow White. Are you just going to do another Snow White and just mess everything up, knowing that not an immigrant, an alien, Superman's an alien from another planet? That's the literal definition of alien.
Well, if we're going to get really technical about Superman and what was inspired the story, because sometimes people think, oh, it's a metaphor for Jesus Christ. No, it's not. It's a metaphor for Moses, okay? Baby gets sent by his real parents on a river down the Nile, gets adopted, becomes this larger-than-life thing later. Jerry Schuster and
Brothers.
Yeah,
Jerry Siegel.
Jerry Siegel and Joe Schuster, the creators of Superman, were Jewish folks. Okay, so
I need you to help me out. I want to stop you just for a hot second. I read something today, actually, because there's a smorgasbord of Superman information and lore on the internet right now because of the drop of this film. I forget which of the two guys it was, but his father had been murdered. And
yes, that was the writer, Jerry.
Yeah, that was the reason for writing this Superman.
Creating Superman.
Yeah, okay. Just wanted to make sure that was accurate.
Yeah.
You know how it is. You can't believe everything you read on the interwebs.
No, you can't. But I
screwed them.
But and here's my thing, and you know me, I'm not a guy that's really into. I don't mind movies or TV shows that have political topics sometimes, or social whatever you want to call it.
I don't either, even if it goes.
Here's the problem I do have with it, though. The skill of writing over the years has gotten so bad to where you've got these activists. They're not writers, they're activists. Yeah. And I don't give a shit what political side you're on, guys. Just hear me out here. Where they beat you over the head with their it's all about agenda first, and story is like an afterthought. They beat you, they bludgeon you to death with it. And Star Trek back in the day, all these other, they would do things, they would make comments on society, but they did it in a smart and, more importantly, an entertaining way.
Yes.
I'm not entertained by somebody beating something over, like just bludgeoning me with it, man. It gets on my nerves. That's number one. And I don't care if it's politics or religion or whatever, whatever. Like, okay, enough, It's just, but what's come, because you've had some things that were just so blatantly bludgeoning you to death with their wokeness or whatever you want to call it. Now you have motherfuckers out there that see woke in everything.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, when I watched the Fallout series on Amazon based on the video game, oh, it's woke. I watched it. I'm like, what's woke about this? Like, I don't see anything where they're like, because to me, if it's agenda, well, okay. When you have morons going around saying, well, it's about time they start doing movies with strong female characters. Say what?
I forgot about Ripley.
Have you not? Yeah, Ripley, Sarah Connor, Lois Lane of Crime Reporter in 1939 America.
Yep.
Come on, man. Comic books and all that stuff's always been progressive. It's always science fiction, comic, but like, I'm sorry, man. Like, so when people say ignorant shit, number one, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, oh, so you're telling me all the women all the characters that classic actresses like Barbara Stanwyck or Katharine Hepburn played. Oh yeah, they were all just real pushovers.
Betty Davis.
It just shows me your ignorance on movies, the history of movies, the history of comics, which I'm not expecting everybody to be a fucking expert, man. I get that. Some people, and here's the thing where I could see with this movie where it would be put as a comic book guy who grew up reading these characters. A lot of what I saw in that movie, I'm like, right on. This is probably the most comic book version of Superman. I'm just going to flat out come out and say it right now. But that doesn't mean it's going to be to everybody's liking, especially if you're someone who's never fucking read a Superman comic book in your life and don't know anything about the character other than the movies or the cartoons, you know, and that's it, you know. So now, do I think this movie was perfect? No, I had a few issues with it, and we'll get into that when we get into the film. Did I like it? Yeah. Oh, and by the way, this is also a guy who did like Man of Steel, but that wasn't a perfect movie either.
I like Man of Steel also.
I know, but you'd be surprised. Some Superman fans hated that movie.
Yeah.
Hated it. And hated. And again, Man of Steel, in my opinion, has flaws. Like, I liked Batman v Superman, the Ultimate Edition, but that had flaws. Like, I'm sorry, Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor doesn't work for me at all. No. He is one of the worst Lex Luthors I've
Kevin
ever
Spacey is better.
Seen. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to call it this guy in this movie. The closest Lex Luthor I've ever seen to the comic.
Other than the guy that played Luthor in Smallville.
Smallville was good.
You know what? I met him at a comic book convention. It was weird. Usually when you meet him, you have like a meet and greet. You go to their table. He was in line behind me. I was getting, and I heard him talking. I turned around, and it's Michael Rosenbaum. And I even told him, man, because I didn't want to really bother him or anything. I just, hey, bro, I just want to tell you, you're the best cinematic version of Luthor that I've ever seen. And I meant that at that time. Like, some people go, well, what about Gene Hackman? They'll get mad. Hey, I love the original Superman movie, okay? I still feel like it's
not
the greatest.
Luthor.
I think it's one of the greatest. It's still maybe the greatest comic book movie ever made. It set the template, just like Superman as a comic book character set the template for all the comic book characters that followed. The movie did the same. But he's Gene Hackman playing Lex Luthor.
Yes.
I love Gene Hackman. I was a huge fan. It's just like Jack Nicholson. All these fucking tards that want to come to me at me about 89 Batman because I think it's mediocre at best. Hey, sorry, it is.
Thank you. Good Lord.
It is.
Thank you.
It is mediocre.
I'm gonna
mediocre. Michael Keaton is not, Mr. Mom is not Batman. I'm sorry.
You sound like everybody back then in 89. Balding.
And you know what? I stand by that, Mark.
Dude, he's
sorry, dude. Like, I love
5'9".
Michael Keaton, but I will say,
intimidating. I mean,
no,
he was a pretty decent Bruce Wayne.
No, he wasn't. That's not a billionaire playboy.
Sure, I mean, they did a good job with that part, I thought.
No, he didn't. Okay, Michael did fine. He wasn't a bad Batman. I think he was a better Batman than he was Bruce Wayne, because to me, Christian Bale, whatever else you want to say about that guy, he made a fantastic Bruce Wayne. As far as he did. I think
so did George Clooney, but made a terrible Batman.
But you know what? I think.
See, I agree with Mark. Clooney was one of the best Bruce Waynes.
Yeah.
Oh, by far. Even though that's a shitty fucking movie.
Agreed.
But with that being said, to me, this movie, yeah, like. As I was going to say, like, Jack Nicholson is the Joker. I love Jack. And I'm not saying he was bad or horrible. I think the first half of Batman's really good, and then it just goes way off the fucking rails. They turn it into this weird love triangle between the Batman and Joker and Vicky Vale, which was retarded. Vicky Vale ain't even really Vicky Vale, okay? I mean, she's Silver St. Cloud. Again, that's the comic book guy coming out of me, but whatever. But the first half, I'm like, oh, wow, they did their homework, even with the Joker's origin, because that's how it happened in the comics. He fell in that vat of chemicals, gets fucked up, goes nuts. But I didn't hate it. Now, all the movies after that,
you didn't like Danny DeVito as a penguin?
I fucking thought he was a horrible penguin. Oh. Horrible. Fucking horrible. That ain't the penguin. It's a goddamn mutant that lives in the sewers. What about him was like the penguin in the comics, Mark? Seriously. The version of the penguin that's in the Batman that was also in that amazing series.
Yeah, I love that. I love Colin Farrell as penguin. He's the best penguin I've seen.
Hands down. Yeah. Hands down. But you know,
I just like Danny DeVito.
I love Danny DeVito, but I don't blame him. I blame Bizarro Tim Burton with his weird shit. Come on.
The worst casting in a Batman movie is Arnold Schwarzenegger's fucking Mr. Freeze.
Oh, by far. By far.
That's horrible. He sounded dumb.
Shut up.
Mr. Freeze is fucking intelligent.
don't get me wrong, man. Arnold Schwarzenegger, I love him. And again, I think Joel Schumacher, good filmmaker, but man, he was terrible on Batman.
He said that
back
was
to Superman. Because Bushy's got to get up early in the morning.
Okay.
Back to Superman. Since you're our guest, Mark, why don't you go first with your thoughts of the film? And then, we'll just, we'll let Bushy go in the middle. That way we don't let him just shit all over the film. Because I know he's going to, all right? I know, I'm not surprised that he hated this. And I'm just going to come out and call you out. You're not a Superman fan, dude.
No,
Clearly
he isn't.
You're not.
He's a Batman fan.
And that's fine. I love Batman. He's my favorite DC hero. I mean, he's right there with Spider-Man. Those are my 2 all-time favorite characters.
My all-time 3 is Superman, Spider-Man, then Batman. So those have always been my favorites. But
and I love Superman too, by the way.
I saw this film. I like Man of Steel. I love Henry Cavill. I was kind of pissed
great
off.
Superman.
They fucked him up. They fucked him over.
They fucked Zack Snyder over. The previous regime at Warner Brothers, and we've already established this, Bushy knows, screwed Zack Snyder and Henry Cavill up the butt. In fact, James Gunn said that in his first press conference. They said, well, what do you think what happened with Zack Snyder? He goes, well, I think they fucked him in the ass without any lube. Quote, end quote. And everybody's like, and he ripped on the previous regime. That's why I don't get some of the hate from, I mean, look, I understand, especially after seeing the Snyder version of Justice League. Yeah, I would love to see Zack finish his movie. But folks, it ain't gonna happen, okay? You're lucky you got what you got. And they have to move on. Zack's moved on. They got to do something. So now they're doing this with James Gunn. Whether it's to your liking or not, that's a whole other thing. But move the fuck on, dude. And hey, like it or not, but this movie's a hit. It just raked in a bunch of more money on a Monday and a Tuesday.
It's the highest grossing
on a Monday and a Tuesday, man.
It's the highest grossing Superman movie of all time.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hit. Guess what? This is it. This is the future, man. And, maybe it wasn't to your liking, but if it kicks off this new universe, because he's already said one thing, because a lot of people thought, oh, he's going to make Batman campy. He flat out said, no, I'm not. Now, do I think we're going to get a grounded version of Batman? No, we're not going to get. You know what? We shouldn't. We've already gotten that. We got that with the Dark Knight trilogy. We're getting that with the Batman.
And Matt Reeves, that Batman's going to be separate from what James Gunn.
Exactly. I think they're going to go for more like the fan, where he's still a dark character. He's still Batman, but you're going to see him fighting people like Bane and Killer Croc. They're even making a Clayface movie, the Shapeshifter dude. Yeah. That's the direction they're going to go in. They're not going to do.
I see Mr. Comic Book fan, not comic book fan, just shaking his head. This is stuff us comic book nerds have been waiting for.
It's going to be like a horror film, and I'm all for it, man. It's a fucking comic book, okay? Yeah. Not everything has to be grounded in fucking reality. You got your grounded reality Superman. And quite frankly, even though I liked it, a lot of people didn't. If they did, you'd still be seeing Cavill as Superman. Yeah. Bam, period. Over. Move on, Snyder. And by the way, I love Zack Snyder. I loved watching him. I love 300.
Boys going to the movies. It's like, oh, we can't see an actual masculine male. But go ahead.
They didn't say that.
We're going to get into this Superman movie.
Okay. Well, look, I love Henry Cavill. So what are you talking about there? Masculine.
Something other than that weak sissy getting beat up by everything on the planet. Sorry, Superman. By the way, well played by David Cornsweet. Is that his name?
Yeah.
He did a okay job. The chick that played Lois did an okay job. Let me get the gripes out of the way real quick.
Damn it. I thought I was supposed to go.
I knew you were going to go in the middle.
You're supposed to go in the middle.
Never mind the fact that it says in the very beginning of the movie he'd never lost a fight. Okay.
And we know why he was losing the fight. And we'll get into that.
Right. Hello? I mean, it's all explained. They're using kryptonite.
Yeah, let me go first.
I mean, that was the whole point of the story. He never had his ass handed.
Try to defend this turd.
What I'm going to defend is that Superman, back when I saw Superman, a movie in the drive-in with my mom, is like one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life. With Christopher Reeve, Margot Kidder. Great fucking movie.
You're never going to top that, by the way, I don't think.
Well, I think James Gunn's going to come close to it. Because
I'm not going to go that far.
To me, he found a Superman that embodies Christopher Reeve to me. He found somebody that has the charm. He has the heart. He has the soul of Christopher Reeve. He has a smile. He has the corniness. Henry Cavill was great, but he was a brooding. He was pissed off Superman.
Well, you know what my nephew calls him? Mopey Superman.
Mopey
He was
Superman.
mopey. He was kind of angst Superman.
He was angst. He was like pissed off at everything. This is the Superman. I see hope. I see like love. I'm not being a hippie, fuck hippies, but I'm just saying I saw like the charm, his little smiles, and you could see him getting aggravated with Lois. And Lois, if you guys noticed the sugar she was pouring in her coffee, that was fucking Margot Kidder right there. That was a thing to Margot Kidder. She kept pouring the sugar in her fucking coffee. She didn't smoke.
That was total homage to her.
That was total homage. But David had that smile, that pizzazz that I saw in Christopher Reeve that made me love Superman in the movies. Brandon Routh was okay. I had no problem with him playing. The script wasn't as good. I loved Henry Cavill. I was pissed off they took him out of it. But when I saw this guy, I go, Gunn made a great choice here. He made a great choice because this is the Superman. It made me feel like a little kid again going to this movie and remembering what I saw. This was the Superman of my childhood. That's what I got to say about it.
All right. Counterpoint, Bush. Come on, buddy. Let's hear it. I know he's a soy boy. He's a pussy. He was getting his ass kicked. Let's hear it.
By a clone.
But yeah, somebody with all his powers.
Yeah,
Luthor, who knows how to fight by way. Another thing people need to realize before we start, I got to say this. When Superman first started, this is year 3 as him being Superman.
Yeah.
Never been beaten. And for the longest time, Superman didn't even really know how to fight. He didn't have to. He's fucking invulnerable and has all these almost godlike abilities. He didn't have to, you know. So when he first, even in the when he first gets his ass whipped, it's like what? Eventually, though, he does learn how to fight. You know, when you got a friend like Batman and other people can show you what's what and how to do what, you know. But at the time when he first started, all he had to do was this. All he had to do was fly in, use his powers, and he'd never fought anybody that had the exact abilities as him, which, by the way, I knew right off the bat that was his clone the minute, and I'll tell you why. I was suspicious anyway, just from the previews, but when they walk into the Fortress of Solitude, I'm like,
oh, the DNA?
The DNA, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
I was thinking the same thing.
That's Superman's clone. Yep. So anyway, Bushy.
I think you guys are just blinded by your absolute love for Superman. Now, look. I was
like you're blinded by Kiss. Okay.
I wasn't a big Superman comic fan. I read a few as a kid. I was more into Thor and Wolverine and things of that nature. I
love those guys too.
I wanted to really, really like this movie, but it's just such a garbled mess. There's so much going on. And it's like, okay, we're just going to throw all this CGI action at you. We never really develop any plot points. Lex Luthor is helping this guy invade this other country because he wants part of the country, but he doesn't want part of the country. He wants to kill Superman, but he catches Superman and he doesn't kill him. He's like, I'm just going to torture you with this guy that makes kryptonite. That's one issue I had with the film. The suit, I thought maybe in post it would look better. No, it's crap.
Yeah, they're back.
The flying scenes with just his head coming at you like this, horrible. I absolutely hated that.
Well, here's the one thing I want to see the movie again just for one reason. The theater I went was just a normal little theater in a small town. And the reason why we went there is because I knew I wouldn't have to fight the crowds. I want to see it on IMAX because I've heard that's what it was filmed for, IMAX. Because I could tell there were certain scenes that to me, I'm like, I think this would look better on an IMAX screen because it looked jarring to me, Bushy.
I saw it in a Dolby theater with the sound, dude. Atmos is so good.
Right, so I understand kind of what you're saying.
I watched it twice. I watched it a second time yesterday.
But I got news for you. There's more practical effects in this movie than people think.
Yeah,
I watched
the robots practical, the fortress practical.
Yesterday, just to see. Okay, maybe you were just going in with your haterade on. So I watched it a second time, and no, the same things bothered me. The dog that's supposed to be some comic relief was annoying at best.
Not really.
You know, train this stupid mutt.
He said why you couldn't train him.
Why do they have capes? I hate that. Eve Tessmacher. I remember the 1978 Superman. She was a smart, strong, independent woman. Now we got this bimbo taking pictures all over the place. Superman. This guy, you want to know what saves this movie is Mr. Freaking Terrific. He is the best part of this entire
great character
film.
Even in the comics, Mr. Terrific is awesome.
I like Nathan Fillion, man. Nathan Fillion, egotistical Green Lantern.
What a loser Superman is. He's got to have these Hawk Girl and Green Lantern, and I hated that Green Lantern, by the way.
I love Nathan Fillion.
I identify with him. And Mr. Terrific, they got to come in and save his tail. And then he's sitting on his couch, moping, while they're fighting some starfish or whatever the heck it is outside, some glow-in-the-dark neon star. And he's like, they got it. He's just a punk. And this is the part that irked me more than anything, Ma and Pa Kent. Well, golly gee willikers, why the heck they sound like this? Because they're in Kansas. They're not in freaking South Georgia or North Carolina. There was so much about this movie that made no sense. It's like, let me throw as much action as I can into this 2-hour spot. And maybe you won't realize it's a crap movie. I felt like I was watching a cartoon. Now, look, I understand it's a superhero movie, but that's what happened with Marvel, that you're like, oh, it's just so much.
Well, you know what happened with Marvel?
Much.
James Gunn said what happened with Marvel is Disney didn't let them finish their fucking screenplays. They just went out with the screenplay and they wrote it on the fly.
Freaking excuse, because he's doing the same thing. It was just,
oh fuck no.
Yeah, it was just.
He got on people bitching about Matt Reeves' Batman. Let him finish his fucking screenplay. Shut the fuck up.
The story just didn't progress. It was just action sequence. It
was in the middle of his life. It wasn't like the beginning, dude.
I don't care. There still needs to be a story.
There was a story.
There was no story.
Lex Luthor wanted to take over everything.
Ooh, Lex Luthor, who we all know wants to take Superman out. Kidnaps him, doesn't even take him out,
because Lex Luthor has never tried to take Superman out in the comics, man. Because he likes to torture him and fucking make fun of him.
Such a crap movie.
Yeah.
Now look, I'm going to buy it because I'm a completist. I have every Superman film there is.
See, I don't get that. I don't get people that are completists.
I don't either.
I don't buy shit I don't like, man. I don't give a fuck, man.
I tell that to Jerry all the time. Why you buying this shit?
Now there were things in the film that I did like. You know what I mean? And we'll get to those as we talk. But these are the things that specifically stuck in my craw. And I tried to watch it again, thinking, okay, those irritated me, so let's watch the movie. And it's still the same thing. You just can't visually blast me for 2 hours and expect me to think it's a good film. I think people that are diehard Superman fans, like comic book Superman fans, are going to love it. I think little kids are going to love it. I don't think it has anything to do with hope. I mean, you shared that article. Oh, it makes men want to be nice again. Well, then you should.
No, it said masculine could be nice too.
Oh,
masculine could be nice.
I saw this CGI dog.
So you can't be masculine and care about people. He said masculine is the new punk rock.
Missing my point, defending your sissy hero. The point is, you can be masculine and be nice. Even every version of Superman has been nice and masculine. I prefer the dude as Superman and Lois better than this Superman.
Oh, fuck that shit.
And I don't think it's.
I heard that was a good show. I've never watched it though. I'm gonna binge watch.
Oh, Superman and Lois was a good show. I was talking about the Dean Cain one. It was a great show, yes.
But the point is, it's a horrible script because it's not a script. It's like, okay, we have a few lines. Action. Ooh, okay, a couple lines.
Dude, he took it from the comic books. It's straight out of the comic books, man.
Well, good. Go read a comic book. And to sit there for 2 hours and watch a comic book, it was annoying to me. It was just an annoying film. I wanted to like it. It had some cool parts, but it was kind of meh.
All right, you sound like Sonny Pooney, but okay.
I mean, that's it. It was an okay film. Greatest thing. It's not.
I tell you what, I love Man of Steel, but I like this better than Man of Steel. This is my second favorite Superman.
Okay, so Mark,
Superman.
what grade would you give it?
I give it an A-.
Bushy, what grade would you give it?
D+, C-. I do put it above Superman 4: The Quest for Peace.
Well,
Come on.
you know what?
That movie's good to watch for laughs.
Okay, here's my thoughts on the film. Overall, I liked it, but there were some things that bothered me. Okay, so there you go. One of them was one you mentioned. I loved Taylor Brims. He wasn't as bad, but Mom Kent was total fucking inbred redneck, and that bothers me because one, James Gunn's from St. Louis. He's from the area I live in. Like, he was born and raised here. Dude, you know people from Kansas don't talk that way. Like, he's got them like, you know, like fucking, you know, that bothered me. I'm not a big fan, even though it's not that big a deal because, and I'm sure James did it mainly because the whole point of Superman, no matter what version it is, except for Red Sun, that was an alternate reality where the rocket lands in Russia, communist Russia, Soviet Union Russia, instead of America, which was actually a really great story. You know, I love those what ifs and Elseworlds and Black Label stories. With that being said, though, most for any version of Superman, and even in the comic books, there's multiple versions of Superman. He is who he is because of, it's all because of Mom and Pa Kent. It's how he was raised. He was raised to do the right thing.
Oh, I didn't even talk about how they messed up Jor-El in that, but go ahead.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the whole, oh, well, we sent you to Earth to conquer people. I was like,
Create.
they kind of did that in Smallville.
I think they fucked it up.
They did that in Smallville, too, and
Yeah.
I wasn't a real big fan of that. That's not,
Right.
and I know, you know, okay, it's a different version, and yeah, you know, and again, it's that kind, but that bothered me. One of the things, and my father hasn't even seen the movie, but he saw the one preview where when Superman's hurt, you got Krypto jumping all over him. Here's my problem with Krypto. I have no problem with the character of Krypto in the comics. And yes, Krypto is white. But this is James Gunn inserting his ego into the story because the dog, the breed of dog, Krypto's more like a white, a golden retriever,
Yeah.
even though he's white in the comics.
Yeah.
This dog is a white version of James Gunn's dog. And that dog, Ozu, or whatever he calls him, when he first got him, was tearing everything up and just a fucking spaz. Some dogs are spastics. Some dogs are just like people. Some of them have to ride the short bus, okay? And apparently James Gunn's dog's
This
one of those.
version of Krypto needed the super short bus.
Right. And my dad, when he saw that preview, it bothered him. Because in the comic books, Krypto may look like a dog. But not only does he have Superman's powers, but he's also smart. He's not stupid. He would not be jumping up and down on Superman when Superman's all busted up, bleeding, and hurt. Ain't no fucking way he would do that. That really bothered. My dad still wants to see the movie. My dad, Superman's his all-time favorite character. He grew up with him. So he's very, very critical. So that, yeah, okay. Mr. Terrific was great. Guy Gardner was great because Guy's a dickhead. Even in the comics, he is. He's always been an asshole. Hawk Girl, didn't mind her. But to me, yeah, they're in there, but they're not. They don't like take over the movie or the story.
No.
I did think it was weird though, Bushy. I do agree with you with the whole, he's having a talk with Lois and I'm like, so you're not going to go out there and help? But you know, there's problems with Man of Steel too. Like there's things like that when Paul Kent's like, well, maybe you should have let them kids drown, Clark. The fuck? Oh, and how about no, son, don't save my life. Let this tornado kill me. Get the fuck out of here.
With Kevin Costner? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. That's what I'm saying. To me, they've yet to make a flawless super. Even the original Superman, which I love, and is probably one of the, like I said, it's the template. Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor, it was good, and he was evil, and he was ruthless, but he still had a bit of Hackman in him. Some of the quips, some of the, well, we all have our faults, mine's in California. Luthor would never say something that cheese dick, ever. This version of Luthor really did work for me.
Dude.
That's Lex Luthor. That's Lex. Ruthless.
I thought
Brilliant.
he did a dynamite job.
He's
Dude.
one of the he's the best thing in the movie.
He killed a guy. Bam!
He's doing to Lex what Heath Ledger was for the Joker. Yeah,
Yes.
I fucking said it, man, and I'll tell you why I feel that way. You know, obviously the Jack Nicholson Joker's more like the Batman from the comics as far as his origin, even though in the comics he had a Red Hood, as they called it, the Red Hood gang. Be that as it may, this version of the Joker in The Dark Knight, of course, you know, he's wearing makeup, but he has the scars, which was really the original inspiration for the Joker. When Bob Kane and Bill Finger and Jerry Robinson created the Joker, part of it was based on this old silent film called The Man Who Laughs, which if you look at it, man, it's the Joker. His hair's slicked back. He's got that grin, but he had an accent that cut, you know. So, but as far as personality, his persona, his whole identity, man, Heath Ledger nailed. That's the Joker. Yeah. Utter chaos. And always like 5 steps ahead of everybody else, just like Luthor. Luthor is 5 steps ahead of everybody else. Luthor has contingency plans for his contingency plans.
I like how he used the video game moves. Do this, do that. You know,
because Luthor knows how to fight. Like Lex ain't just some smart dude. I mean, Lex can whip your ass, like as far as a regular dude. Like you're talking about a guy who could probably give Batman a run for his money in the fisticuffs department. Like he knows how to fight, and that's one thing I didn't mind with this movie because I'm like, okay, yeah, Superman got his ass handed to him, but they even said in the credits in the beginning they kind of explain why. It's not like this dude, and it's his clone. He was getting his ass beat by another Kryptonian who, by the way, once Luthor couldn't tell Ultraman how to fight, guess who got their ass handed to?
Yeah,
Ultraman.
Exactly.
So I enjoyed the movie. I think some of the fight scenes were great. I liked it. But yeah, I didn't care for the I thought Mom and Pa Kent, especially Mama Kent, was a little too rednecky for me.
Absolutely.
I didn't Crypto, I wish they would have, you know, I mean, and I was worried when James Gunn even said, well, he's not a good boy. I'm like, oh, you're going to make him like your dog, aren't you, dude? And I was right. I thought the cast overall was really good. I like Jimmy. I like Lois. I thought David did a fine job. Because the one thing he did get across, and that's the thing, is Superman cares about everybody.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite scenes is when Lois is really grilling with the interview and he just stands up and goes, people were going to die. Like,
yeah, I saw
Superman
him get
don't
mad.
care about politics.
No.
He don't give a fuck about borders. He just wants to help people. He's just, at the end of his core, is a farm boy who has this amazing powers and abilities that just wants to do the right thing. And that's every version, including the Henry Cavill version.
Yeah.
He's just somebody who wants to make the world a better place, and he's trying to help people out. But there was a lot, like, I thought they nailed Luthor. The fact that Luthor was doing the whole black hole traveling, which I thought was really cool, how he
pocket
was
universe
in there, and the pocket universe stuff, brilliant, and didn't give a fuck how it affected people. Didn't care because
let it get destroyed. We got a ship, we can go over it.
Yeah, he does. He's, and the fact that the reason why he just, part of what Luthor hates, and to Luthor, Superman is an alien. He is an invader. He is somebody. He is not one of us, and he's just too good to be true. Nobody could be that good. And Lex,
it's like when he says you're an alien. He goes, "No, I'm human, just like you. I have faults. I have this." And I love that line. How he just said, "I'm human. I love. I laugh. I make mistakes. I am human, just like you." I love that line.
The one scene I did like is when Luthor kills the dude in front of him and he starts crying. I'm like, that's how you hurt Superman.
Yeah.
That's
that guy. The guy he barely met. And he just killed him.
I actually liked a lot. That harkened back to when Henry Cavill had to snap Zod's neck because that hurt him. Anytime Superman has to go above and beyond, or he can't make that save, you can see that pain. I think
the first Superman movie when he fails to save Lois, Bushy.
Oh yeah, he gets angry. He goes.
Then he flies around the Earth backwards and reverses the
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Rotation. Are you kidding?
Hey, Star Trek.
Oh yeah, we're gonna
okay?
bitch about. Oh, that's so unrealistic. The guy can fly. How many fucking guys do you know that can fly, Bushy?
I could buy that before I could buy that.
I don't care.
Shut
up.
Hey, the only problem I had
just stop already.
The only problem I had is that the engineer could breathe in the space.
Yeah, when he was flying up to get.
Yeah, I know the clone can, but hit her. How could she
I don't really know. That's a good. But you know what's funny? She's a character from The Authority, which is a super team that's more like they're hardcore, like they're heroes, but they're more anti-heroes. Like they really do some shit that like. You know, they don't give a fuck about.
What about Hot Girl when the guy's like carrying that guy? And he says, "You're like Superman." Did he say, "I'm not Superman"? She drops his ass.
Right. And like, again, that's very in character for her to do that.
Yeah, I love that shit.
Thanagarians, Hawkman even. I mean, dude, the guy carries around a mace. I've seen him smash people's fucking mouth, like just knock their teeth out and go, "Eat steel, scum."
He just fucking dropped his ass and killed him. I was like, whoa.
Hawkman is Conan with wings. I said it, man. He's Conan. He's like fucking boom. He's going to end you if he can. Like, he's not a bloodthirsty. He's not like the Punisher or Wolverine. Like, well, even Wolverine's not really bloodthirsty. Like, Wolverine will kill people, but you got to be a really bad, awful piece of shit. It ain't like Wolverine's just popping his claws and just killing dudes left and right for no reason, you know, or for some petty offense. Even the Punisher, like the Punisher goes after really horrible people, you know. But no, overall, I think the movie, I give it a B plus. It wasn't perfect. But I did enjoy it. I really am looking forward to seeing what's coming next. I also thought it was a little weird that Supergirl called Superman bitch. I was like, whoa, okay.
Well, did you see the poster?
That bothered me about this movie, and it's weird because just because I have stopped cussing doesn't mean that I don't appreciate a good expletive thrown at somebody in the proper context.
Yeah, and she goes to the red sun planets to get drunk. I love that.
In Superman, we're going to start having profanity. That messed with me a little bit.
You're right, because even, I mean, Luther called him a piece of shit, and I think some other characters used a few.
Did you know the show? Did you know the show Lanterns that's going to come on HBO Max?
Now that's going to be full-blown rated R show.
Yeah, because Nathan Fillion says this is the most I've ever cussed in my life in a show.
And he's not even the main Lanterns. It's going to be Hal Jordan and John Stewart.
Yeah, but he said he cusses a lot.
Are we bringing back Ryan Reynolds?
No. Actually,
I did like that movie.
Did you hear about that? James Gunn actually asked Ryan Reynolds, "Hey man, you want to play Green Lantern again?" And Ryan Reynolds texts back, "Fuck you, dude."
That's funny.
But overall, I did like the film.
It wasn't horrible because as much
there is a lot going on with it, Bushy. I can understand somebody who doesn't know the characters and the history to go. And there's a lot going on. Like it's very busy. I mean, you got a lot of characters. I do think overall, though, James did a pretty good job because I was worried, like, well, these guys just going to take over. I don't feel they took over the movie. It's still a Superman movie.
It wasn't like Batman and Robin.
But
parts of that movie were, I'm telling you, was like Mr. Terrific. I loved his stuff.
Oh, Mr. Terrific was awesome.
He's a great character,
the
though.
One thing I liked that Guy Gardner did is when that octopus guy says, "Justice Gang, I like it." And he goes,
"You're in."
Okay, you're in. You're in. It's like the only line that I enjoyed by that guy.
Well,
I like seeing the halls of justice. I was like, that is fucking
Guy
cool.
Gardner is, like I said, and even in the comic books, he's a douchebag. There's a reason. There's a famous panel. You might have even seen it on Facebook where Batman knocks Guy the fuck out, dude. Because Guy takes his ring off like, "I can take," and Batman's like, "Oh yeah?" And he says something, and he goes to hit him, and all of a sudden you just see this fist go dunk, and Guy's out like that, you know, because Batman don't play. Right. You know, and like I said, I can understand where some people were like, "Whoa, what is this?" And I know there's some people that really loved Man of Steel and loved that. But when I would hear some of the, and it's not the normal Snyder fans, it's these fucking tards, and everybody's got them. Everybody, every artist, whether it's band, rock, or music, whatever, they all have their segment of tards. these guys, man, they were like, well, let's boycott the imposter Superman. And I'm like, well, your plan really worked, guys, because it's been a huge hit. It's just stupid. Because number one, even if you succeeded, that doesn't mean that they're going to be like, oh my God, let's bring Henry Cavill and Zack Snyder back and let him finish what he's. No, for one thing, those actors are older. I don't know if they'd even be interested in. I mean, I would love to see it as a fan. I would love to see Zack.
Well, Henry thought he was coming back. He was in that.
I know, and that was the previous regime before James Gunn took over and DC Studios became a thing. The other thing I think people need to realize, though, is with all of this, it's like with the Zack Snyder thing and all that is if the previous regime had not interfered with Snyder when he was making his movies in the first place, he was going to end it. It was going to be a 5-part story, and the end was going to have the Flash running and kind of doing what they shittily did in that Flash movie.
A Flashpoint?
Flashpoint.
Yeah.
And then it was going to reboot another universe, and then that was Snyder's plan, was to have somebody else, Gunn or whoever, take off and do their version. We could have gotten our cake and eat it too, folks, if the regime that was in charge of Warner Brothers had, because people can say what they want about David Zaslav, but since he's taken over, Warner Brothers has been scoring a lot of wins, not just Superman. That Minecraft movie was a huge hit. There's been a few other movies they've done, big hits.
I like the Minecraft movie.
Dune was a great movie.
I need to watch that one.
And the series on Max.
I thought I was easily entertained. If you even went and saw Minecraft, you're easily entertained.
I saw it streaming. I didn't go pay for it.
But you know what?
And I like Jason Momoa, and I'm a fan of his Conan movies, so what do I know?
I like that Conan movie, by the way.
But, I think with Zaslav, whatever, look at those Dune movies, and that television show was fantastic. The Penguin, fantastic.
The Penguin was great.
Yeah.
The quality, and I like the Batman. I know some people complain, oh, it's too long. The
Batman's awesome.
Look,
I loved it.
I've gone on record saying it. Not my favorite Batman, because Ben Affleck's my favorite Batman, but definitely the best Batman film I've seen.
And I agree. Like, if I had to pick I know because, and again, there you go. There's a perfect example. I
had a close second.
I had reservations against that Batman movie because of Glitter Boy.
Same.
Yeah.
Right.
He did a good job. There's a lot of cool things you don't ever see in Batman films.
But then I forgot he did that movie Tenet. That movie Tenet was really good too before Batman.
Well, and he's done a few other movies. Like, he did one movie that's really weird, man, called The Lighthouse.
Loved it. Loved it.
And that's the guy who done by the same dude who directed Nosferatu, by the way. And I think the guy's really a good actor. I just think that I was more open-minded, and I'll tell you why.
I was stigmatized by Glittery Vampire Boy.
I was too. That's why I
Bushy, I hate those movies.
I watched them so I could make fun of them.
But you know what?
I watched 2 of them because I was forced to.
I watched all 3 because they were streaming, and I need fuel to fuck with these movies.
But at the end of the day, the reason why I was more open-minded was because of Heath Ledger. I was totally against him playing the Joker. I was like, fucking Knight's Tale, Brokeback Mountain guy's going to be the Joker.
I hated Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of his because most of the movies he made were
I hate modern music and period films. Period.
I didn't like Knight's Tale. I didn't like, and it was okay, but it was fucking stupid.
The Elvis movie was good, even though he's modern music.
Most of the movies that Heath Ledger did, I was not a fan of. I just got to be honest with you. So when I found out he was playing the Joker, I was pissed. I was like, what are they getting this fucking guy?
And then the fucker dies after he does his best movie ever.
But man, he blew me away. And then, because I remember Backlash when Affleck got cast as Batman. And I'm like, and whatever else you want to say about those movies. And here's the thing. Again, even with the Ultimate Edition, which is the only one I'll watch now, I went to the theaters to see the theatrical version of Batman v Superman.
I did too.
It wasn't a bad film, but I remember walking out just being very confused because they cut it to pieces. They cut out important story structural parts to where it just was like, okay, like I remember in the original version, I'm like, well, how come they think Superman killed all those people in the desert? in the original version because you just see him get shot. Well, then when you see the other version, they use
I bought the Ultimate
to make it
Edition
look
because
like
you guys told me how good it was, and I bought it. It was so good.
What, the Ultimate Edition?
Yeah, I bought it. Because
it's great. Overall,
I got it on Blu-ray now. Yeah,
but I still think it has a few flaws. One of my biggest ones is Eisenberg is Lex Luthor.
Yeah,
I thought, way too much mad scientist. I mean, here he's supposed to be a brilliant. I mean, yes, he's the businessman and the tech guy, which Luthor is in the comic books. But it was more like, I don't know, he just acted all quirky and
he
weird
was too ADHD. He was too ADHD.
Right, you're right.
ADHD.
That's not Lex Luthor. That's not.
Yeah, he was like Mark Zuckerberg as fucking Lex Luthor.
Right. Yeah. And I don't know what Zack Snyder, who like I said, I love most of his work. I don't know. Now, with that being said, his version.
Hey, no offense to ADHD people out there, by the way.
Right. But his version of Justice League, I love. So yeah, guess what, folks? It's possible to like both. I like James Gunn and I like Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
Because the one thing I will say about this Superman film, and I knew it would have it was going to have heart because most of James Gunn movies do. They have a lot of humor, and sometimes I think they go a little too far with the humor. But they also have a lot of heart. The Guardians of the Galaxy movies had heart as well. So I'm not that.
And I'm not a big fan of those. Now, I did go back and rewatch the first one.
I love the first one.
Now, the first time I watched it, if you go back far enough in my Facebook feed, you'll see. So I finally watched that Guardians of the Galaxy. There's 2 hours of my life I'll never get back because I hated it. It was a grower. Maybe this Superman will be a grower for me. I don't know. I will say, as much as I hate the suit, and I really hate the suit.
That's an old comic book suit, though.
I don't give a darn. It's horrible.
Actually, it's a hodgepodge of a lot of different Superman.
But the thing is, he brought the underwear back. I like the red underwear.
I'm not trying to look.
He hates it.
Johnson, the friggin' underwear. I actually kind of wish that Cavill's Superman had that color suit. Not quite such a dark.
Too muted. I agree, Bushy. The costume on Cavill looked great, but it was too muted.
Black suit.
It's like dark. No, I love the black suit. That again, that's taken out of the
comics. Because I remember reading.
Yeah, when Superman came back to life after he got killed by Doomsday, when he came back to life, he had that costume. I love that.
I do remember that comic run. I read a couple of those. I like the S.
The S is from Kingdom Come.
Yeah, I like that S. I hate the S on the back of the cape. I think it's distracting, but I didn't like it.
That doesn't bother me one way or the other.
I didn't like it
whether there's a S on the cape or not.
I like this curly hair too. I thought the curly hair was cool.
I hate it, but that's just because that's taken directly from a comic Clark Kent, but it's a very beta type Clark Kent. I remember seeing some panels of it, so don't ask me which comic storyline it is, but I remember seeing that. And that to me is not Superman. He's always well coiffed, always parted, but when he's Superman, it's parted the other way and he has the curl coming down. That's Superman. That's just how it's got to be. But I like the color in the suit. I don't think Corn Sweat's nearly big enough to be Superman, and Henry Cavill's ruined me on that because that dude jacked up.
Well, I got news for you. If you watch film footage, that's one of the reasons why the costume kind of confused me because they showed Corn Sweat in the.
Yeah, he put on, and he's still
got
not
big,
nearly
dude.
as big.
He was ripped.
It's like
you never know it.
He must be strong as I am.
You know what? That's what they said about Glitter Boy. He couldn't put on weight for Batman, but he did it well.
Look, all I know is this. I'm just saying what I saw when he was training to be Superman before they even put the costume on him. And I got to admit, the costume did surprise me, Bushy. I was expecting it to be a bit more form-fitting because...
it's just junk.
It's this costume, there's things about it I like, and then there's things about it that do bug me. I don't really care. Like, I don't know. I think it really looks weird from the bottom down. Like, the boots even, they don't quite... but I figure it'll be a work in progress and maybe the next... Now, what's weird, though, is did you guys see the preview poster for Supergirl yet?
Yeah, I put that in your thing.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Instead of look up, it's look up
Look out.
Superman, look out. Now it's look out. She's a drunk. I love it.
She's got up, scratched out with out. Now, this is actually based on a story I've not read yet called Supergirl, the Woman of Tomorrow, where
she comes out of a closet.
She goes to these these red sun planets to get drunk. And you got to understand something about Kara, though. Even in the comics, she is a different, because unlike Superman, who was raised by humans, Kara was not. Kara was also, at the time, older than Clark when Kal-El was sent to Earth.
Yeah, she was sent to Earth to watch over her cousin because she was old enough,
Right, only she didn't get there before him for whatever reason. I can't remember why. There was a reason.
They showed that in the series.
I'm still trying to get through that series. There's times
it got bad. It was the first 2 seasons were great, and it just went. That did go woke. That one did go woke. I will tell you that. Yeah,
big time.
Now my thing with Supergirl is I don't have nearly the connection with her as Superman. I did like that movie back in the day.
Yeah.
I don't know how accurate that even was. I mean, she came up out of the water.
It was very cheesy.
I don't know. It was.
It was okay. I wasn't that big a fan.
I've never. That's a movie I never wanted to buy. I like that actress in The Legend of Billie Jean better.
Poster that they have of her, I do like her costume. And if I noticed one thing. I'm like, well, how come hers is more form-fitting than David Corn's?
Hers is busty.
Hers is actually it's like tight. Where Corn Sweat's in parts is not. I don't know why, because it seems
they wanted to show the boobs.
But it seems like with Corn Sweat, it's really baggy, especially around the trunks and the legs, man. Yeah. I'm just like,
and I understand. Going to fall off. Okay, good. It wasn't just me. It's like he's got an oversized pair of tighty.
And that's what I'm saying, Bushy. What's weird about it when you see the video of him training, dude, he got jacked, jacked. Because honestly, when I look at David, when I first found out he got the part, I'm like, this guy looks like a young Henry Cavill to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they could be brothers, and
third cousins maybe.
I'm just gonna say that.
I don't know, man. If you saw the pictures I saw of him when he first got cast, I was like, this guy looks like a younger, Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love Henry, man. He's probably, in my opinion, the best Superman since Christopher Reeve. I'm gonna say it but again. Do I think this?
Obviously, it's a different story, okay? And I can take that out, okay? Because we got another origin story, but that first 20 minutes of that Man of Steel, it's like you were watching an entirely different movie. You got a different feel for Jor-El, and I don't remember the mother's name because it's a difficult...
Lara.
Yeah, I was thinking of her actual name. You got a real good feel of the turmoil and angst that was going on before they sent their child off. And then we dealt with Superman that didn't have the powers, but developed him and was learning how to live with them. I understand all that. I understand all that. This movie, I get it. Okay. Yeah. It's like most of these Batman films where he's already into the mix,
Thank God. I don't want another fucking origin story.
We don't need an origin story because
we don't need it. We know.
As much as I like the 78 Superman, I think Man of Steel was way better as far as the origin story goes. I'm not saying it's necessarily a better movie, even though Henry Cavill's my favorite Superman. But I think the origin story was much better told.
Still wasn't necessary though.
Maybe it's timeline because Christopher.
Even though I will say this, I loved Zack Snyder's Krypton, the visuals.
Yeah, I like that
Zack
too.
Snyder is his visuals are amazing, man.
Yeah. I just hope the next Superman movie we don't get General Zod. I want to see enough.
You know what? I want to see Brainiac.
I want to see Brainiac. Yeah.
I don't see Zod coming back. There's no need to bring him back.
No.
Because
we're gonna get Brainiac in here, man.
Well, I mean, look, if they want to have the Phantom Zone criminals, maybe down the line, I'm all right with that. But yeah, there's other Superman villains. There's the Parasite. There's Brainiac. Superman's got a great rogues gallery. Darkseid. Anybody?
Did you ever see that?
Cool villains.
Did you ever see Krypton on Sci-Fi Network?
I did.
That was pretty damn good.
And they had Brainiac, and they did a good job.
And that was the guy who played.
I want to see Brainiac fight Superman.
Is he the one that shrunk down his
Kandor?
Yeah, Kandor.
Okay.
Yep. That's Brainiac.
That's
great villain.
That's Supergirl's town,
so
right?
that the dude that's always in your thread there, Mark Daly. He's always saying, I don't want to see Luther again. And I get it. Luther's been done to death. I don't blame Gunn for doing Luther in this movie, only because you needed that mastermind, that guy that's behind the scenes, because he was responsible for everything. And it just cracks me up how you had, like, there's this guy who has a YouTube channel, and I used to follow him, and because early on, I agreed with a lot of things he said, like when they tried to pivot, like, you know, when they did the Aquaman movie and it was like, it made $1 billion, a huge hit. And then next thing you know, they're doing shit like Birds of Prey and just all these crappy DC movies. And it was like, what's going on here, man? And he was very critical of it. And he has every right to be critical of that regime because they were clueless and didn't know what they were doing clearly. But with that being said, he was trying to say that, like, well, James Gunn's ripping off Batman v Superman because Luther's behind everything. Dude, Luther's been behind everything. In every fucking Superman story. Just
he's the Legion of Doom, man.
Right? Yeah, you can't. That's what he does. Yeah, that's what he does. He's the leader of the
Legion of Doom. He gets them all together.
Luthor is a guy he's kind of not just Superman's enemy. He's just about every DC hero's enemy.
Yeah,
like,
he is.
He's the big baddie. He's kind of like Doctor Doom in the Marvel universe.
Well, Kingpin is kind of the big baddie too. Kingpin.
Well, yeah, but
in New York with Daredevil, he's everybody's.
Yeah, well, he started out as a Spider-Man villain,
Spider-Man and went to Daredevil, you know.
Okay, number one. Okay, so yeah, again, they had to steal Spider-Man villains because at the time Daredevil didn't have any interesting villains.
Yeah.
That's a whole other story, though. And honestly, Kingpin fits Daredevil better than Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But with that being said, Kingpin's he's a mobster who pretends to be don't get me wrong, Kingpin's a bad dude, but he doesn't cross swords with every hero of the Marvel Universe. Dr. Doom does. Doom does. Doom is the guy that, he ain't just the Fantastic Four to me. He's crossed swords with the Hulk. He's crossed swords with the Avengers. He's crossed swords with Spider-Man. That guy has met Iron Man. He's messed with all of them. Every one of them. And to me, that's what Luther does. Luther has gotten into it with Batman. You name every damn DC hero. Yeah. Luther has fucked with all of them. Yeah. As I said, overall, I like the movie, but I could understand, especially if somebody that your Joe Blow casual, your Susie Q casual might be like, whoa, there's a lot of characters in this. What's this? And
I don't even consider myself a casual. I'm just not a comic book guy. You know,
I know that.
I've made the joke. That, I read comics when I was 14. Then I discovered girls put them down. And yes, it's a joke. I'm not messing with anybody that reads those things.
I would hope not, because I still got lady.
What do you guys think? We haven't really talked about Lois Lane except for the sugar. I think she's the best Lois Lane since Margot Kidder.
I'd go along with that
because she's more independent than the other ones. She's more independent. She wants to do her own thing.
To be fair, though, I've not seen Superman and Lois. So
I thought she's a great Lois Lane.
And I've heard that's a really good show. Everybody
great show.
Says it's great.
That show was great until the final scene. The final scene I thought was hokey and stupid.
Well, they all got old and shit. Yeah.
No.
You're giving it away, man.
No, I'm not going to give you away the scene that I think was stupid.
Come on. It's been off for a couple of years now.
Yeah, might catch up. When they're all flying together, it's so
they're all, yeah.
It's so hokey. Amy Adams, I think, was a bad Lois Lane. She
wasn't bad. I like Amy.
She did really great with the investigative reporter side of Lois Lane.
I think clearly in this version, Lois kind of came to the same conclusions, I'm thinking. Because in this movie, it's year 3. He's been Superman for a while. She clearly knows he's Clark.
Yeah.
So, it's like I said,
she's fighting with Guy about it, and Guy gives her all the information. She goes, "I know."
That was my other problem. I don't mind lighthearted, but that was the other thing. It's like if you weren't blasting me with CGI fight scenes, you were blasting.
How many CGI fight scenes were in here? There wasn't that much.
Jokes. It was nothing but action scene. The dog was CGI the whole time.
Oh yeah, he'd look pretty good though.
No, he's stupid. God, he was stupid. And I was really hoping I was going to be wrong. I was hoping that rant I made 2 months ago would not come to fruition as far as crypto goes. Boy, did I call that one down the damn line.
I will also say the guy who played Jimmy Olsen was really good. I liked him in the Righteous Gemstones. The Righteous Gemstones is really good, and how like he didn't want a relationship with Tessmacher, but he looked at the end. Whatever.
Look, her only redeeming quality in this film was she's hot. It's the worst.
No, she was taking pictures. She was kind of smart. She was taking pictures.
Rewind a little bit. Let's rewind. The worst Miss Tessmacher, there's only been 2.
Right.
Okay, because she was a character that was not in the comics. Yeah. Neither was Otis. That was something that was made for the original.
This Otis was weird. He wasn't stupid.
And that's my whole thing is I'm a film and TV Superman fan. My knowledge of Superman starts
I'm just saying, well, you're like the worst Miss Tessmacher. There is no other Tessmacher except for her in the original.
But I'm saying,
if you have to, there can be a worst.
I'm just saying she took pictures of stuff that was important. She wasn't that stupid. Like maps and stuff, and that she knew what it was.
She was
and
playing.
She said, "I'm going to send it to her."
Dude, she wasn't stupid because if she wouldn't have taken all those photos.
Pictures. Yeah, she wasn't stupid.
With that
because she said, "Jimmy, I got something for you," and she took the pictures. And he goes, "She's just sending me selfies," and he goes, "Oh shit, look at the back."
Well, look. Here's the thing. Did she kind of get on my nerves, Bush? Yeah.
She's such a bimbo.
But I think part of that was an act because like she screws Luthor in the end. So obviously she wasn't as dumb as he thought she was. And everybody else thought
she had some lucky pictures because
no, she knew what it was because
like
she told Jimmy if I send this,
she got screwed.
She told Jimmy she was going to send him information.
Dude, she did that on purpose, bro. She did all that on purpose.
She said, because why would she tell Jimmy I got information for you?
Just because you don't like her, okay, and she got on your fucking nerves, doesn't mean that she didn't do that shit on purpose.
She was clever. She was playing stupid, but since shit,
playing stupid, exactly. She now, do I like her as well as I do? Well, come on, man. Valerie Perrine, get the fuck out of here.
Valerie Perrine is awesome. Yeah,
she was hot.
She was great.
Well, this one's hot too.
Yeah, she's good looking, but I think Valerie's prettier.
What about Cat Grant? She was kind of talking way too much, a little bit.
Cat Grant is pretty much the way she is in the comics. She's kind of annoying too.
Which one was that? See, there's
the hot chick with the
blonde with the glasses with the big boobs that was in with him. I like
part of the Daily Planet.
Daily Planet, the blonde.
Yeah. Okay. I like Perry. I kept telling Jimmy,
how much I remember her. I ignored her.
Yeah. Well, she's not that major of a character anyway, really.
I like Perry White. I would have liked to have seen him more.
Yeah, Wendell's a great actor, man.
It's Bumpy from The Wire. I love that guy.
Yeah, I thought.
Well, he's been in lots of things that I love. A lot of things, dude. Freaking.
He was doing a good job. I'm like, how come we can't have more Perry White? You know, I liked Morpheus. Lawrence Fishburne as Perry White. He did a good job too.
Oh, he did.
You know,
actually, I've always thought they've done a pretty good job of casting Perry White because I loved the guy in the original Superman.
Jackie Cooper. Jackie Cooper,
yeah. He did a good job too. Yeah. If it was me, I would say wait for it to hit your streaming services.
Oh, fuck you.
There's not a big reason to rush out unless you just want to see all that on the big screen, in which case it's a good popcorn movie. It's fun, I guess.
That's what movies should be. They're not hitting it. It ain't woke. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing, Bushy. For somebody who says, I'm easily entertained, I'm like...
And I am. That should tell you how bad this movie is, or not how bad, but how not great this movie is. Because I am easily entertained.
You like some shit that I'm just like, huh?
Oh.
Yeah, I agree.
Like some of the worst Spider-Man movies ever made.
Which ones does he like?
Like ever.
Which ones?
Do I like The Amazing Spider-Man? I think Tom Holland's definitely the best Spider-Man ever.
I like Toby.
You mean Andrew Garfield?
No, I said The Amazing Spider-Man was a good movie, but Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man ever.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I like
Toby. Andrew Garfield's take on Spider-Man, though.
I liked all the Spider-Mans, but Tobey was my favorite.
Amazing Spider-Man 2 fucking piped, man.
Yeah, it was horrible.
I go
With
back.
Electro.
What do I go back
Terrible.
and watch? I never go back and watch the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Yeah, you're fucked up. Those movies rule. I
Oh,
like
the
Sam
first
Raimi.
two.
The first
Part
two
3
were great.
sucked. Part 3 was terrible. The only
Which is
thing
the one
good
with
about
Doc
Part
Ock.
3, the only good thing about Part 3 was Sandman. Other than that movie fucking
Oh
piped.
yeah. But I'm just saying the first two were great. Sam Raimi's an underrated director.
I think Spider-Man 2 is the best. Dr.
Yeah.
Octopus, that's the best Spider-Man.
Agree. And I liked how they brought all those Spider-Mans together in the last one with
Yeah, I
Doc
don't know. I
Ock.
thought that movie was a little overrated.
I liked it.
That's the best Spider-Man movie.
That is one of my favorites, but I go with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 2 better.
It's good, but everybody fucking jerks off to it because you got all three Spideys. Let's just be honest.
They acted great together, though.
The
They had
MCU
good
Peter is a moron. I'm going to say it right now. He's a fucking idiot. He's an idiot. He does things that, yes, I know he's young. I get that. But he's also this. I mean, Peter is a brilliant person. He's smart. And when you got somebody like Doctor Strange going, hey, dude, don't do that. And he does it anyway, time and time again. I had a problem with that. And again, maybe that's just me as a guy who grew up reading Spider-Man.
Me, and I'll tell you why. Because I know a few hyper intelligent people that are dumb as a darned brick. So it made perfect.
Well, Peter's not dumb in either.
But you know, you realize that
the real Peter Parker, the guy I've been growing up reading for I don't know how many years, even though he's not real, he's a fictional character.
I'm gonna say real.
Is
you
not a
realize the
fucking
most
idiot,
but
and he's
you know
got common sense on top of his fucking.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. Usually, intelligent people lack common sense.
Well, MCU Peter definitely lacks common sense.
Yeah,
It's a fucking moron.
I think he's. I can't wait to the new one. I heard is like.
Now,
he's
with that
separated
being
from
said,
everybody.
did I hate it? No, I liked it, but I remember just watching this going, like I'll be honest with you. Right now, as far as newer Spider-Man films, my favorite ones are the ones that have been animated. The Across Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse.
I can't stand the animation of those. It's shaky as fuck. It just
I love
irritates-
them. I love
it's
it.
like
I love it.
I haven't seen the second one still. I did like the first one.
I did like the first one, but the animation gave me a headache.
Metal Mike, a cartoon I watched more than
I know. I'm shocked.
actually.
That new Ninja Turtles one was like this
Because I keep
too. was
telling
like,
you, man, the best Batman movie ever is Mask of the Phantasm. And
Hey, I got
You know?
that.
I don't know. I watched the Killing
No,
Joke,
I got Killing Joke.
and it was
Killing-
horrible. I'm like,
Well,
that pretty
they-
much
they-
killed me
they
on
didn't-
trying
they
to do
didn't-
any stupid cartoon movies.
It didn't. Well, for one thing, my problem with the graphic novel is amazing. The movie was a disappointment. It was a big disappointment.
Hey, the
but I'm not
best man-
talking about that.
The
I'm
best
talking about-
Batman is the Batman the animated series. I'm just saying.
I agree. You never even watched it.
He likes He-Man. He likes the new He-Man with Kevin
Yeah,
Smith.
I mean, dude,
Yeah, I
this guy
watched it
contradicts himself all the time.
I know he does.
Once.
That's like
Make
gold
it make
asset.
fucking sense. I hate cartoons. I really like that new animated series with He-Man.
Hey, I just want to give a shout out because everybody's giving it shit. I think that new Naked Gun's gonna kill.
Yeah, it's gonna kill.
I'm laughing my ass off.
Gonna
They
kill
didn't.
quality
They didn't make it a
cinema.
reboot. They made it their offspring.
It's kind of a sequel, is what it is.
It's a
the
sequel.
son of the original.
Yeah, and the
I don't
scene.
know. It's going to take some doing. I mean, that.
And the scene with the guy looking at the picture of OJ, the son, he goes, "Nuh-uh." Slaps my ass off. Nope.
Look, having a quality joke in a trailer is not a good movie.
Hey, I think Liam Neeson is amazing. I've seen everything on this, right? So many different previews. I'm laughing my ass off. And I like that they have
I
a
actually
pop.
just saw him in an episode of Miami Vice, and I had to look at him like 3 times and wait for him to speak. I'm like, is that Liam Neeson? It's Liam Neeson.
Hey, Al Bundy was in there too.
Yeah, I remember that episode. He was undercover.
Hey, the best cop he ever played was in what's that movie with Dice?
Lord Fairlane.
Like Booty
Adventures of
Time,
Lord
Booty
Fairlane.
Time.
Yeah, this Superman, God, I wanted it to be better.
I think you need to watch it again.
We already watched it twice.
You need to watch it 4 times.
I know why it's doing so well. I know why it's doing so well. It's Superman. A Superman movie's going to do well.
Not all of them have.
A lot of people feel that Man of Steel underperformed, believe it or not.
And Superman Returns. The only reason why they made Superman Returns because they were going to lose the rights, so they had to make a Superman film really quick.
And
The other thing I want to point out,
that movie. I hated that they completely forgot about Superman 3. I mean, forgetting Superman 4 is the right choice.
They went from Superman 2 to Superman Returns.
I know. They completely...
you know what my biggest problem with that movie, though? It wasn't horrible, but I'm like, I've seen all this before. Number one, okay, we got Lex Luthor again. Oh, we got the crystals again. Oh, it was like, been there, done that. All it was a love letter to the 78 Superman film. That's it. It wasn't that great. It was okay.
Did you guys like the Donner cut of Superman 2?
Oh, Return.
The love letter to the original Superman.
I enjoyed that movie, except, of course, with
I did too.
flying out of the water, pushing that thing up, and it's loaded with kryptonite. He's still able to do it somehow. Again, I need a little bit of believability. A little bit. I don't need a lot when I'm in my superhero movies or science fiction movies, but it's got to make sense. Okay, spinning the world around backwards, you'll never convince me that could ever happen. I don't care.
Like the Starship Enterprise slingshotting around the sun to go back in time. Okay, not like that'll happen.
At least he's using gravity. It makes more sense than this guy.
He's using gravity also.
to create wind to turn the planet around. I'm sorry, it made no sense. Superman pushing this big rock formation out into space, loaded with kryptonite, made no sense. It weakens and kills Superman. So that's the only part of that movie I didn't like.
Yeah.
Find fault in every single Superman.
There was another character in the movie, though, Metamorpho, Rex Mason, the Element Man, the guy who can literally create any element, including kryptonite. That's right out of the comics, by the way. Element Man's a guy who, really a sad story, because in the comic books, he was like a really good looking dude, and he gets this horrible accident that he gets these powers, but it obviously...
Well, that's why he had a nice looking wife. I was going, I thought he was an alien.
Because he married her before the accident happened. And here's the other Easter egg. You remember the part where Superman finds out what his biological parents were all about, and he goes into that building, and Guy Gardner, is the Green Lantern, shields him from the other people, almost like even he's kind of like, give the poor guy a break, and they're talking or whatever. And if you see on the wall, there's a Stag Industries sign. Mm-hmm. Well, Stag is Simon Stagg. Simon Stagg is Rex's wife's father. That's basically Metamorpho's father-in-law.
Oh, wow.
And he's an evil prick too. So I'm sure
the other thing that bothered me.
They're going to add, but what I'm trying to, if you get, they're leaving Easter eggs. They're leaving Easter eggs and plot that they're going to pick. Like, I guarantee you, they're going to do more with Mr. Terrific. You think he's just going to show up in this movie and that was it? No, dude.
No, he was a great character. They better not.
He is a great character, dude. And he's just like that in the comics. Mr.
What about General Flag? What about General Flag? He's
Rick Flag Senior.
Rick Flag Senior.
Yeah, he's going to be in the next season of Peacemaker.
Yeah. And they showed Peacemaker in the movie. I was like laughing my ass off.
Yeah, him talking smack. And Peacemaker, I refused to watch forever, and I finally took Metal Mike's word and watched it, and I thoroughly enjoyed that series.
Great.
So I am looking.
They're going to have to change it.
And James Gunn did that. It seems to me, though, maybe he's just kind of hit and miss with you, Bushy. Like, seems like you like some of the stuff he does, and then some of it you're like, eh.
Yeah, and it's like, I know I'm coming across as I hated this movie. I did not hate this movie. But I didn't like this movie so much that I'm like, oh man, you have got to drop everything and go see this movie. You know
Doesn't
what?
seem to matter. I think word of mouth, man. I mean, I think what hurt, especially Batman v Superman, is that had the biggest opening when it came to DC characters history. But then it dropped off because, again, word of mouth, because people saw, and I'm talking the theatrical version, it was cut to pieces. Because I remember walking out telling my nephew, man, aesthetically, it was a beautiful film. And as a fanboy, like seeing, like when Batman has the nightmare sequence and you see the parademons, I was like, I remember bumping my nephew and going, it's fucking parademons. I never thought I'd ever see anything like that on the big screen in my life. It was amazing, but I'm like, man, the story, like, like, okay, for instance,
See,
like
I never saw the theatrical version, and I own it. I bought it when it came out.
Don't bother, Bushy. Don't, because when you watch it, you're gonna go. If you do watch it, you're gonna be like, well, fuck, no wonder nobody liked this movie.
Yeah. Because when I bought it, it had the Ultimate Edition with it on Blu-ray. So, and that's
you just watched the Ultimate Edition,
Yeah.
which is the way it should be. That's the way Zach intended it to be seen, and it's because they explain. Okay, like in the theatrical version, remember the part where Superman's in Congress and he's getting ready to talk, and you have the explosion.
Yeah.
The whole time I'm like, how the fuck did he not hear that bomb? How the fuck did he not see it? It's got superhero. Well, then you find out in the Ultimate Edition, the chair was lined with lead. Oh,
lead, yeah.
that makes sense. Well,
Yeah.
in the theatrical version, they don't tell you that. Also, when the place blows up, he just looks sad and flies away. Like there's people hurt and shit. And the other version, of course, you see him trying to help people because that's what Superman does, man.
Yeah.
So in the movie, the other version, there was just a lot of things that you're like, even Batman getting to the point where he's killing criminals. I know some people got really upset with that, but here's what I don't understand. The same people that bitch about that give Tim Burton a pass when that Batman killed numerous people when he blew up that factory. You know, but that was okay. It's like,
well, speaking of killing, okay, we're going to save a squirrel but let a building fall, or we're going to save a little girl but let a building fall.
But he let the building fall, but everybody was evacuated from that building. And he saved that girl on the freeway and let her car go. So he held the building up for her to get away. He tried to save everybody if you watch that. And I just got a point to make.
And that's the thing,
you know
like,
how you're talking about you know how you're talking about director's cuts. I'm gonna go back years ago. There was a movie called Highlander 2. I went to the movies. I go, this movie fucking sucks.
Terrible,
and
dude.
then I saw the director's cut at Blockbuster Video. This makes sense. This makes sense.
I still don't think it's a great film, but it's better than the theatrical version. Dude.
Oh, fuck yeah.
The only Highlanders I like, and that's including the director's cut.
Hey, Henry Cavill is going to play Highlander. I'm looking forward to that. And the new Running Man looks pretty decent.
But yeah, to get back to, so you had all these different plot points that they just took out to where the film, while you're looking at it going, man, it's a beautifully shot film, it just doesn't make any sense. That's why I mean the previous regime, it's just like because in order,
maybe
gotta
we'll
make
get a director's cut of this film where they'll actually expand the plot a little more instead of just.
I understood the whole thing, man. I understood the whole thing. It's a popcorn movie, man. Why do you do so much thinking in a fucking film that's entertaining you, dude?
There needs to be some kind of character development.
There is. You don't need a character. Superman is fully developed. We know who the fuck he is.
Superman is, and we know
Lex Luthor. We know all these characters in here.
But we all don't know all these other characters.
Because you don't read the comic books.
No, because I'm grown and like girls. We don't know Mr. Terrific. We don't know.
But you liked him enough to where now you're interested, aren't you, Bush?
Our only knowledge of Green Lantern was Ryan Reynolds, a movie which I like. I stand by. It was a pretty good.
I like that movie also.
Terrible. The only good part of that movie, the only thing I liked about it is when he goes to Oa and he gets his training. I hated what they did to Parallax. This yellow blobby. What the fuck
means
ever?
nothing.
It was over CGI'd, and you're complaining about CGI in this movie. That movie is totally CGI'd.
But
fuck.
Including the goddamn costume.
Yes, it was all CGI'd.
Yes,
and you're complaining about CGI and Superman.
Star Wars
you make no sense, Bushy. You make no sense. There's more practical effects in the Superman than there was in the entire fucking Green Lantern movie.
Whatever. Y'all can suck Superman's Peter bug. I'm telling you, it's not that.
Look, I'm not sucking anything, dude. I already told you what I liked about the film and what I didn't like. But I will ask you this. You liked Mr. Terrific enough that now you're intrigued by him, aren't you? You want more, don't you?
I'm not going to read a comic book, but if they release it with them, I'll watch it.
You're telling me you think this is only going to be the only cinematic, or this is the only time we're going to see Mr. Terrific in these movies? That this DC cinematic universe?
I would think not, because even when the movie ended, you had that great joke scene between Superman and that. I love that scene. It's like it doesn't line up. You know? that was a good little snippet. I enjoyed that.
Was that in the end credits or what?
Yeah, it was the end credit, the mid credits. And then the end credits was just him and Crypto hugging, looking at the Earth.
Looking at Earth.
That was dumb.
It's not even his dog, we find out. It's what's her face.
Well, he did say it was a foster dog. He did say that.
But see, now that's something in the comic books. Crypto is his dog. He's always been his dog. But whatever.
And I wasn't real thrilled with the Supergirl. I was like, oh God, is this going to suck? I didn't like short-haired butch Supergirl in that Flash movie.
She was hot. The Supergirl that's in this was freaking hot.
See, I don't care about that. I care about, does the character make sense? Don't read comic books.
She was drinking her ass off. She was drunk, dude. She was drunk. She said, who moved the entrance?
This is based on a story I've not read yet, but even I was a little taken aback by her demeanor.
Yeah.
That's not the Kara I know from the comics.
I liked it.
Okay, and that's fine, dude. You can't, and I'm not saying I'm not going to check it out. Like, I like the
I'll watch it too. Come on, which superhero movie have I not watched?
And I do like the poster where she's got the overcoat over her costume and it says "Look out" instead of "Look up." Very cute. We'll see. I'm still looking forward to, I'm looking forward to Lanterns. I'm looking forward to, I want to see what James has got cooked up. I know he's not going to direct every film. He's in charge of, him and Peter Safran are in charge of DC Studios, but I think overall, we'll just have to wait and see, man. Iron Man, and here's the other thing, some people acted like this movie has to make $1 billion to
it needs to clear what it made.
Iron Man made a lot of money, but it wasn't. It's kind of funny though.
Even James Gunn said that we don't care about the financials of this movie.
Here's my thing about all of it.
As long as they make what they spent, which I think they've already made.
Or they have already. And that's what's weird is just on Monday and Tuesday alone, I was like going, oh, is people going to see it? Well, apparently they are. So kudos to them, But we'll say this about the whole, because in 2008, you had two movies that raised the comic book movie bar, and one of them was Iron Man and the other one was Dark Knight. And I think in some ways, DC was a victim. Well, number one, Warner Brothers has always been in control. Now that DC's got its own studio and it's its own separate thing with its own, with James Gunn and Peter Safran, I think we're going to maybe see more consistency, more quality control, I'm hoping, overall. And I'm talking big picture wise. Because I think with Warner Brothers just seemed like they were clueless. It's weird because they've always been known as this auteur studio that lets their filmmakers do their thing. But when it comes to their DC Comics property, it always seemed like they micromanaged everything.
Well,
this goes all the way back even with Tim Burton and Batman and then Richard Donner with Superman, and I'm like, guys, just let them do what they're doing.
Well, that was the Zelkines.
You're right.
Yeah,
but they've had a history of doing this because I think that Warner Brothers, I think for a long time they thought, well, if we just flop out the big DC dick, everybody's going to fall. Especially once Dark Knight broke $1 billion, boom. When we're not worried about what they're doing with their little universe, and then next thing you know, the Avengers comes out, they build up to it, breaks $1 billion. Next thing you know, those people that were running Warner Brothers at the time, oh, well, we got to have our own cinematic universe. And I think they tried to kind of fast track one. And in a way, they're doing that this time, though. To be fair, they're doing that with this too. Like you're talking about Superman, who's been at it for a while. But I think eventually, like when they do Mr. Terrific, when they do so, you're going to get more backstory with those characters. So I understand. I kind of see everybody's side to it. I can understand where Bushy's come from, and I can understand where you're coming from. And like I said, I enjoyed the film. It's not as good as the original Superman, though.
It's up there with me. It reminded me of the original Superman a lot. It brought me back to my 8 years old. With that being said,
the best Lex Luthor cinematic right now, even better than Rosenbaum is, and he was amazing in Smallville.
Yeah, see,
he did a great job.
That's why I'm going to have to watch the movie a few more times because I really like Nicholas Hoult as Lex, but I like Rosenbaum a lot.
Well, I love Rosenbaum too, but to be fair, Rosenbaum had how many seasons to do that? And also what made Smallville so compelling is just like in the comics, Lex wasn't always a bad guy.
Right.
He was actually a really nice guy. But because of his insane father and some of the fucking bitches he got with, he went down a dark path.
But
So I think, I'm looking forward to what's coming, and I'm hoping Fantastic Four is good too. I know
Fantastic Four looks pretty good.
Some of it. I'll watch Supergirl because I'm intrigued, and I did like the original. Yes, it's cheesy. It's not a great movie either, but I like it maybe for nostalgic purposes. I watched it as a kid. When it came out,
You probably just crushed on a little Helen Slater in that little skirt, dude.
I may have.
I like the Legend of Billie Jean better with her.
I have no desire to see Claymation Man or whatever the heck that is. I just don't care.
But Mike, I just wanted to say you made a point about Warner Brothers Michael managing after Kevin Feige got, or whatever his name is. Feige got Marvel going. Disney started getting in the middle of his thing, saying, we need to put this up. So they weren't finishing screenplays.
They were also doing quantity over quality.
Yes.
Once Disney Plus came out and you got all these Marvel shows, some of them good, some of them not
bad.
so good. And even the movies got affected. Like Phase, what was it, 4 or 5?
The Eternals was horrible.
Wasn't that good, man. There was like maybe a couple of movies here or there. But let's be honest, they peaked with Endgame.
Yeah.
Okay, they just did.
But after Endgame, that's when Disney said we need a Marvel movie out twice a year, and they said let's get it. They were forcing them to get this shit out, and
so
James Gunn said they weren't even letting the writers finish the screenplays.
Dude, so much so that the effects houses are like, guys, we can't do this.
Yeah.
We can't do all these effects in this amount of time.
So I hope
She-Hulk looked like such crap. I never watched it. I had no desire.
No, I wanted to until I saw it, the preview, and I was horrified. I'm like, oh.
I thought it was kind of funny.
Even with DC, they're DC properties. They catch a lot of crap. Like I preferred the Suicide Squad movie with Will Smith over that other one. I didn't understand the big stupid starfish thing. I
like the Will Smith one.
I just thought it was ridiculous.
But the second one, we got Peacemaker in, which...
Well, here's the thing, though, Bushy.
When they come out with Aquaman 2, Aquaman was such a good movie. They had finally learned their lesson from Marvel. If you're going to CGI, go all in. Because it's underwater, and obviously people can't breathe underwater.
Well, they didn't let them finish the screenplay.
It was at least a good movie. Aquaman.
Oh yeah, I thought the first Aquaman was cool.
Aquaman was awesome.
That second one was such.
It's like Wonder Woman was great, and the second one, 1984, was fucking horrible.
See,
look,
I didn't
guys.
mind 1984 so much.
And the other thing I wanted to point out, you said you didn't like Starro or you didn't like that Suicide Squad movie. The one thing I've noticed about James Gunn, he seems to really, because there's different eras in comics. You got your Golden Age, Silver. He seems to really like, because even this Superman, I saw a lot of elements of the Silver Age, Bronze Age Superman. Like, there's a story called.
To me, I just know that's what they.
I know, but there's a story by Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely called All-Star Superman. That was a huge influence on this movie, especially the fortress, the robots, the look. I'm like,
I remember the robots in the cartoon. They brought that.
And look, what Gunn's done is he's borrowing from a lot of different versions of Superman for his Superman.
And that's fair.
A lot of people do that. Look at the first Conan movie with Schwarzenegger. That took like several Conan stories and put them all together and just.
More than several. There is sometimes just lines, and they did the same thing in the Jason Momoa version.
I like the Jason Momoa version.
That line, I live, I love, I slay, and I'm content. I wish I could remember which story that is, because I've got every Robert E. Howard Conan story over here.
I love Robert E. Howard. I'm a big fan too.
All that's ripped directly from the pages, but nothing. Yep. No cohesive. Just
did you want to hear something heartbreaking, bro? I don't think it's going to happen now. There was a guy who was developing a Conan series that was going to be very faithful to the Howard novels.
God, so better than that crap they released in the 80s or 90s.
And it was going to be basically the life of Conan. It was going to be in chronological order. Like they were going to start off with the Frost Giant's daughter. That was going to be the first story.
That's wild because Robert E. Howard didn't write him in chronological order.
He didn't. He
wrote him as just an old guy recounting his tale.
He's basically kind of doing what Roy Thomas did for Marvel Comics when they brought Conan to Marvel. What he did is him and L. Sprague de Camp, who also wrote a lot of Conan stories, fantasy writer, huge Conan fan, a huge Lord of the Rings fan too. They kind of filled in the gaps because you got to remember Robert E. Howard killed himself.
Yeah.
So we don't know exactly for sure how he was going to resolve certain things. And another interesting thing about Robert E. Howard, it's an older film. I don't know if you've ever seen it, Bushy. Maybe you have. Had Vincent D'Onofrio in it as Robert E. Howard with Renee Zellweger. It's called The Whole Wide World. And it's based on her book. She plays a teacher. She was a school teacher who was an aspiring writer who becomes friends with Robert. This really happened. It's all from her accounts of meeting Robert, falling in love with Robert. Bushy, it's a heartbreaker, dude, but it's very, very well done. And if you're as big a fan of Robert E. Howard as you are, you need to watch that movie.
Yeah,
that's my
I didn't even know that
plug of the week.
That is awesome.
Besides this, I got another plug that's not comic book related.
Hey, I just want to ask you guys one thing. You had Judge Dredd. I'm going off the rails here. Judge Dredd with Sylvester Stallone or Judge Dredd with Carl Urban? Or Dredd.
Carl Urban.
Carl Urban. Right?
That Carl Urban movie was so great.
Right?
I never liked Judge Dredd with
comedy with Rob Schneider.
Yeah, it was. Visually, it was cool looking, but my God, it was stupid. Movie. No.
I want a sequel with Carl Urban, man.
I do too. Carl's been saying he wants to do it, so hopefully it happens.
Red was so good.
Great film. Great.
I like Carl Urban, though.
So do I.
I love Carl.
He's great in The Boys, too.
He's also great in the Star Trek movies.
Yeah, he's a great Bones.
Yeah. Oh, he was great. He was great.
And that one movie where he's with the sword. What was that movie? Fucking. I forgot what it was. Great movie.
But anyway, so Superman. Let's get back to Superman so we can wrap this up.
Yes.
I've been a fan of Superman, obviously in syndication, because you guys are older than me.
What the 5 years?
Whoa! Syndication, dude. It was syndicated when I watched Adventure of Superman with George Reeves.
It was too. It was on repeats when I watched it. Yeah.
No, it was. But this is how big a fan. Between Voodoo and my DVD collection, I have every season of The Adventures of Superman. I have every season of Lois and Clark. I have every season of Superman and Lois. I have all 4 Christopher Reeve films. I have the Brandon Routh film. And I have every version of the Zack Snyder film, that involves Superman. I really love this character. I was disappointed in the film. I don't think it's horrible. I know I have ragged on this thing hard, but there was so much about it that just irritated me. The bright colors as such is the one thing that didn't irritate me. I'm okay with all the bright. That's good.
Well, because Superman is a bright character.
Yeah,
not Batman.
You could have hoped. And I have gotten over. I mean, when Superman Returns came out, I was furious when Perry White's like, does he still stand for truth, justice, all that stuff? Infuriated me because Superman is truth, justice, in the American way. I understand Superman is now a gift for the world. He's been portrayed that way for a long time. I'm good with that. I think the movie could have been reworked. You could have probably taken out like 1,700 action sequences and given us a little more story.
There was a lot of action sequences, man.
And
there's a lot going on because he's not just, there's the kaiju, there's Ultraman, there's Ultraman pretending to be the Hammer of Bavaria. Yeah. And then you got Lex's body armor guards dudes and stuff.
There's so much going on. It's almost like he's trying to pile drive. You're going to like this because we're just going to bombard you. He's showing so much cool stuff over there.
I know. I see that.
Mark's obviously a big Superman fan. But, I mean, kudos for the poster, but I love that one. Richard Pryor was great in that movie.
And I got the one over there, the original one hung
You know
up.
what?
You'll believe a man can fly.
My favorite part of the Superman 3 is when the kryptonite, even though it was green, it was experimental, but it was basically like red kryptonite where it splits him into two people or he becomes bad.
And then he was fighting against himself. Yeah, me and Mark
I love that
talking
scene.
about that before you came on because he kept.
I love that though, that part where, and I remember watching it with my dad, and this is why I know Dad loves Superman, because the part where when they're fighting and Clark just finally has enough and chokes out the evil Superman and he disappears, and all of a sudden he opens up the shirt.
Yeah.
You got that music, and I just remember turning around and I looked at my dad and he's just got this big grin on his face because, you know, he's been his hero since he was a little boy. I mean,
that's something I hated about both the Man of Steel version of Superman and this Superman. I never saw him.
Right.
I mean, now look, I know we can't go into a phone booth anymore. They don't exist.
Yeah, I agree with you. And another thing I didn't...
The ripping it off.
That's one thing I loved about Zack Snyder's Justice League is when they're at the very end, when you see him and there's something going on and you see him duck in the alley and he opens his chest. Now it's the black and silver costume, but I love that costume too. I'm like, yeah, that's Superman. So overall, like I said, I enjoyed this movie, but I'm a guy who tries to appreciate all the, like I like Man of Steel, and that was a very divisive movie, believe it or not, among Superman fans.
Yeah.
And I kind of think this one's going to be, even though this one seems to be, as far as commercially, a much bigger hit.
I think the problem with this is, as soon as somebody leaked woke, and we spoke about that earlier.
Yeah.
I think based on what James Gunn said, you could make that assumption. But when Mark had sent that to me earlier today, I went straight to X, Twitter for you old guys, to Dean Cain, because I follow him. And I was like, wait a second. And it, like 2 days ago, he says, for the record, I haven't even seen Superman yet.
That's what I didn't like, because he said he didn't see it. Don't say anything.
It's a free country. You can say what you want. I didn't see Snow White, but I remember when they were going to use all different kinds, sizes of people instead of dwarves. And then instead of using actual little people to fill these roles, because Peter Dinklage is such a scumbag, they CGI'd the dwarves in.
I watched, me and my girlfriend watched 20 minutes of the new Snow White. We watched 20 minutes of it, and the script was horrible. It was a bad movie.
Yeah.
It is not even about true love. It's about, I'm a strong, independent woman.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was boring. We didn't like it.
And here's my problem. Again, you got these people taking these properties that have been around, these stories that have been around, some of them hundreds of years. Snow White's a very old story. Okay, let's way before Disney got their hands on it.
1936?
No, I'm talking, it's a Grimm's Brothers tale.
I know it's a Brothers Grimm story, but I'm saying Disney did the cartoon in like 1936.
Yeah, that's the movie that made them.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, it was the first
I didn't even care that they had a Latina playing Snow White.
I didn't either.
I didn't like what she was saying. The actress was saying a lot of
but look, it was a fucking bomb because it's like you.
Yeah, she's still her own thing there.
I'm tired of Disney doing live action versions of their old.
Oh God, yes.
They are so creatively banked.
After Snow White, they said they canceled a lot of those live action.
Good.
It worked.
They need to stop. And you know what they need to do? And this isn't just Disney.
Why don't we get some talented artists and start drawing out your animated movies again?
Yeah, that Elio movie bombed.
I love the Jungle Book. I love Robin Hood. I love the Aristocats. I love the Sword and the Stone.
Okay, there you go. All right, so there's some hope for you.
I love that too.
All that. I'm going to
Pan.
I'm going to program this.
Well, here's my other thing.
You don't like Peter Pan?
No, I'm talking about these guys that just program the cartoon on the computer.
But they actually do draw with the computer. The original Pixar did draw with the computer. But now AI's involved, it's going to get worse.
Well, look, I think the thing with Disney though, and this isn't just Disney, it's a lot of these entertainment companies. Like, okay, overall, I enjoy a lot of Amazon's programs. But I still, even though I've never watched it and I've heard it's got its flaws, but I rolled my eyes when I saw they were doing another Lord of the Rings that's supposed to be
horrible.
The old stories. And I'm like, guys, We've already seen that. There is so many great IP out there. And I'm not talking comics, I'm talking books. As sequel happy as Hollywood is. On top of that, with now all these streaming services with television series, you could do the Amber Chronicles. There's so many great stories. Like I said, the Conan, that guy's idea was brilliant.
We're making a new Harry Potter TV
But apparently Amazon nixed it because they didn't want to, because Conan's pretty hardcore, as you know.
Yeah.
And I guess now maybe it would, because I think there's been a bit of a backlash for that stuff, but this was when wokeness was at its fucking height.
Hey, wokeness is going down, by the way.
It is. And I think that but from my understanding, he's going to shop it to others, but I hope he gets it done because you could tell the guy's a real Conan fan and he wants to do the material. That's what I'm saying. Like you mentioned Harry Potter, as good as those movies are, those are books. You could do one season from one book. Like you could literally go in a lot more detail with a streaming service. One of my favorite shows is Foundation, which is based on Isaac Asimov's series. There's so many great things that could be done. There's so many great IPs out there that can be. Another thing, Harry Potter fans. There's a character called Harry Dresden, it's magic like Potter, but he's a private detective. It's really
Dresden
cool.
Files. Remember the Dresden Files?
Yeah, it wasn't that good though. The books are so much better. The books are 100 times better. If they would have they didn't do it. No, they didn't do it justice, Mark. Trust me, they didn't do it justice. If you never read the book,
like it.
Well, that's fine, but you never read the book.
Did you like Warehouse 31? The Warehouse 31 one?
Yeah, it was all right.
I didn't see it.
But anyway, that's where I get mad. I get mad because it's like, why do we keep doing remakes when there's literally all kinds of horror books?
How about Eureka? Did you watch Eureka?
Yeah.
Eureka was
liked
awesome.
It. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to He-Man.
The movie?
Yep. The only thing that bothers me is a lot of it's going to take place on Earth again.
I don't want that. I want
it on Eternia.
Well,
I want to see them throw down on their planet.
I think the second half is going to be Eternia, the second half of the film. The guy that got played him, it looks like he's going to do a good job. He's bulked up. He's not as big as He-Man was in the cartoon, but guys don't bodybuild like that anymore. It's about.
Well, it's called steroids. Nobody takes steroids really anymore.
Yeah, but you can still get big. I mean, look at Henry Cavill. That's about the most. Him and Chris Hemsworth in that first Thor, especially. Dude, you could get beefcaked.
Well, you don't think they were taking some steroids?
You can get beefcaked.
I mean, dude, I can only go by the photos I saw.
Fill out that stupid, lame, loose-fitting costume of yours.
You're like blaming him. He didn't make the fucking costume.
I'm just telling you, years ago when they put out this box set, I bought this at Costco. It had a thing in there. I got all 6 movie posters for $5, and I've only put up the first one.
I'm not saying that Corn Sweat was as big as Cavill was, but he did work out for the role. Like I saw him in the gym, dude. He was ripped.
Yeah. You can say the same thing about Christopher Reeve. I mean,
because Christopher Reeve was skinny as a rail when he got casted, Bushy.
But it's not like and that's what I liked about Cavill so much, and that's why he's my favorite Superman. Every Superman comic that I've seen or read, and obviously I don't know the original Superman stuff, even though that guy was pretty big, with the build of that time. But dude, Cavill embodied that.
Oh yeah, he looked great.
Superman, he
but
just
those costumes were literally sculpted around his body to where it was, because I saw the making of it. Like as great a shape as Cavill was in, they molded his body when he was like literally had no fat on him at all.
Yeah, he had to dehydrate himself for a few days and such.
Yeah.
To look comic book ready.
Right.
But that's what they do when they compete, when bodybuilders compete. So
sure.
I don't mind that.
No, I'm not saying
where
that.
He comes up out of the water and he's grabbing the clothes off the line. That dude is like, I wouldn't fight him, and I'm not afraid of any man. That guy at that size, I'd have been like, maybe you're right.
Anyway, but anyway, man.
Overall, it's an okay movie. It's an okay movie. I think Supergirl is going to be trash.
I don't think so.
Just based on what I saw, but I don't know that story either.
Well, again, Gunn's in charge of DC Studios, but he's not directing Supergirl. It's got its own creative people. So
but Gunn said he saw the screenplay and it's going to be awesome.
Well, of course he did. He's running DC Studios. He knows what everybody's doing there.
He says it's going to be awesome. I don't know that necessarily.
I trust James Gunn, man, more than I trust DC in the past. So.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see, man.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. All in all, it was, and like I said, okay. I understand why it's doing so well. Some of the soy boy stuff coming out.
I was kind of worried though, Bushy, because I do think comic book fatigue, movie fatigue is a real thing. I do. And
I wonder if I'm suffering for it, or suffering from it. Now.
I am. And guess what? I grew up on this shit, but even I'm going, oh man. I mean, dude, I haven't rushed out. There's when Marvel first started, I didn't miss a movie. Now there's several Marvel films I
agree with you.
Plus, and I'm constantly seeing these superhero movies that I haven't seen. And if I go there, you know what I watch? Well, let me go back through the Punisher again. And by the way, when they rebooted that series, what a great season that was.
The Daredevil? Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah, Daredevil, yeah.
Daredevil Reborn? Fuck yeah.
Great.
Born Again.
Born Again. Hey, but did you guys watch Agatha?
No, I have no idea.
It was really good, dude. It was really good.
Really?
It was really good.
See,
really
I don't really care what they...
Catherine Hahn is a great actress.
Yeah, man. But that character, her version of Agatha is nothing like the Agatha from the comics.
Well, she's pretty evil in this one. She
is, and Agatha is not evil in the comics. It's like...
Oh, okay.
The fuck? So I wasn't really a big fan of
I liked it. It was pretty cool.
But the only thing I really liked about WandaVision was the Vision. In the end, when he's all white, and
they're
badass.
supposed to be making a Vision series. I heard.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, I think.
You know how far WandaVision I got?
One episode.
It's weird.
I didn't even get through the first episode. I'm like, you know what? If I want to watch Leave It to Beaver, I'll watch Leave It to Beaver.
It changes. It changes though.
Stupid.
Yeah. The one thing I did. Like I said, I did watch all of WandaVision, even though I was
still haven't gotten to all of Black Widow yet, and I thought she was a great character, but why give her a solo movie after she's dead?
I didn't get that either.
Well, it was kind of a prequel.
It is a prequel, I'm with Bushy. I still think
I agree with that. I agree with that. But
that's
the
what I'm saying.
Eternals was trash.
I think but I think the last we'll just have to see though, because now I think with this movie. And the success, Marvel's got competition now. Disney and Marvel's got competition, so they're going to have to.
What they need to do is just give me total faith in DC is if they pull their heads out of their hindquarters and give me a good Nightwing movie.
It's in the works. I do know that Gunn has said they want to do a Nightwing.
Did you guys watch Titans on HBO Max?
I started it, but I didn't finish it.
Oh, it's really good. It's really good.
Yeah,
Nightwing in there is pretty damn good, dude.
I think I've got like one more season.
It's an adult.
I didn't get as far as Nightwing. He was still dressed as Robin.
No, he gets in there.
It's very adult. You're right about that. That series is very.
I remember he said F Batman. I remember that scene.
I love. They bring Batman in there too. It's pretty cool. I liked it.
Well, apparently they're doing another Teen Titans or Titans movie too. That is.
Well, I hope it's not Teen Titans. I like Titans.
I think it's just Titans.
Yeah, Titans are better. Teen Titans, the cartoon.
Well, they were kids though when they, because in the comic books they were called the Teen Titans when they first started, but they were fucking sidekicks at the time. They literally were teenagers. As they got older, they became the Titans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right. Let's get out of here.
All right, guys.
I got to tell you. Man, go see it and judge for yourself. Don't take my word for it. I'd wait for it to come out on streaming or video.
All right. You know what?
Thanks
Make
for
your
hanging
own
out
mind.
with us, man.
No problem. You guys could go see the movie Novocaine with Jack Quaid. It's really good.
Oh, yeah, I do want to check that out.
That's great.
All right, folks. Keep fighting the good fight. Stay metal to your dying breath. We'll see you next week.
Next week. Look, how long has it been since we've been able to say that?
Right? Don't jinx us, though.
I say it every week.
Shut up, Mark. Bye, Vinyl. We'll see you next time.